Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, I just wanted to make a video addressing my last one. Um my last one was a tier list video, and I made a tier list, a killer tier list, and I'll actually pull that up as I'm trying to talk. But basically, I made a tier list video, and it was it was about Dead by Daylight killers, and it was actually one of, if not the most viewed video on my channel ever. And I was like, wow. But it's also has the, I forgot day, just Dead by Light. That's pretty, that one right there. That's the one I use. This was my tier list when it pops up. There it is. Well, the bottom pieces didn't go in. But I made it for the new changes that were added to Dead by Daylight, and I thought the my tier list was pretty good, pretty solid, pretty fair, taking into account the community's opinions and mine of my own that I have seen, and I got a lot of comments on the video. One that I actually just got right now, and that's actually what's prompting me to make this video. Not too nice, but it's my most controversial, my least, my lowest like to dislike ratio. So I figured I should address it. So let's go to uh, the one that prompted me to do this. He did 56 minutes ago, and it's currently 11:40 at night. All right, just to show you I have no life. All right, so he said Freddy C tier, Wraith S tier, Pig A tier. Okay, well let's go through those killers. Pig A tier. Why did I put her at A tier? You may be wondering. Um, Being able to suppress your tear radius at any moment, very powerful, very strong tool used by the people I actually put up in this A and S tier. These people right here. They're able to instantly suppress their tear radius, which gives them a huge advantage because you don't always know if someone's coming up on you, and it creates a lot of pressure where pressure doesn't exist for, let's say, Oni, because you hear his loud dum 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 footsteps, and his tear radius from like miles away. So it doesn't create pressure in that sense. It just creates passive pressure. With Pig in question, she has bear traps, reverse bear traps, excuse me. She puts them on your head, and they're a little RNG based, but the what all of 5 seconds it takes to put them on their head, they need to go to different spots around the map and try to get this thing off their head by performing skill checks and stuff, which takes time off of them doing generators, and it means they can't pop a certain number. It makes the game very crowded and very tense, which puts a lot of pressure on it. So that's even why she's up here. If she didn't have her bear traps, I would place her way lower. Yes, she's an M1 killer. Yes, she has to chase in some capacity, but she also is able to get a cheeky smack. So the chases are automatically shorter because there's she only has to hit them once. Um, let's see. Wraith S tier. Yes, and I actually think I explained it right here. Wraith is a killer that does not rely on chase, which is absolutely true. I don't know if you have watched this video, but you should go out to True Talent. True Talent has an excellent video on this. He basically took a series of games and showed you how he won them, and showed like how many people escaped, what map it was, and he basically does an analysis over his games, and he showed that Wraith is very viable with the builds he was using, which is moi. It was very good video. And I've had this opinion, before this video was made, before that video was made. I thought Wraith was strong, but really not as strong as that was, and I believe he's a top 1% player, and you can definitely make Wraith viable and compete with his top 3 spot. These people are kind of interchangeable just depending on who you talk to. But yeah, they are definitely up here for a reason. Pig A tier, I already said that. Freddy C tier. Freddy, basically his abilities, he can teleport to generators over a certain amount of time. After a certain amount of time passes, he can teleport. There's a cooldown. He can teleport to another generator. My only issue with this is they can see when you're teleporting to a generator. So if you are intending to teleport to that generator, they can run away. And basically, if you don't want to kick that generator, let's say you're using Ruin, well, your Ruin's probably going to get popped before the game even loads in. But even if you have the perk and the perk's still active, they're just going to sprint in the other direction while 3 other gens are getting done, or 2 other gens are getting done. Let's just say 2. 2 other gens are going to get work done. The person that you were going for is now halfway across the map, and now you're at a generator that's kicked. Great, what are you going to do now? And that's the thing with this teleport. Yes, it allows for you to get cross-mapped and stuff, and it is very good. That's why he's not down here. And yes, I think right now, being in light of the situation, yeah, I would probably put him like maybe here, or probably here, or just back down here. Because like I said, like Demogorgon is close to Huntress. Like these are just where they happen to fall, you know? I'm not saying that Trapper is leaps and bounds better than Deathslinger. I'm just simply saying that Trapper is better than Deathslinger by 1 character count, and whatever that may be. I mean, the gap between Pig and Michael are kind of interchangeable. You can kind of flip-flop. Some of these you can flip-flop. Like, I guarantee you if I just went like, ooh, woo, woo, I think more people would agree with me, honestly, on most of the stuff, because it's basically 1 position away. That's like saying, I think Hagaru Nakamura, he's top 2, or he's the second best chess player in the world. That's like saying I think he's number 1. I would, people could be like, what are you talking about, Magnus Carlsen? Right? And I know this is a bad reference, but whatever. He is the best at classical chess. I'm like, well, Hagaru's the best at blitz chess. What's your argument there? He's the best in the world. Haha, I got you here. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying Wraith is the best in his category at stealth by far. So far, in fact, that he is placed above people who rely on the exact opposite. So that's my argument against those. And he also ends it so nicely saying, "You're drunk, dude." I'm 14, and very sober when I made that. So sadly, that's not true. And I responded to him, obviously. I appreciate the feedback, but there are specific reasons for each placement. You can argue some cases, but if they're not backed by anything like an explanation or examples that I give. But need to be backed, misread it. And he says, "You're right, dude, a killer with the highest kill rate at red ranks, who can spam snares around loops, making them unusable, and instantly teleporting to generators, creating a crap ton of pressure, is weak." Okay, number 1, I never said that he was weak. I didn't say that he wasn't a strong killer. I don't think I said that any of them besides Legion wasn't a very strong killer. I just don't, that's in reference to the people who are above them and people who are below them. I don't believe that he is nearly as strong, or he is as strong as Plague. I don't personally think that. And he's like, so first of his things, placing them at snares, or placing his snares at loops, making them unusable. Well, that's not really true, honestly. If we're really thinking about the grand scheme of things, Doctor should be able to snap somebody on any loop ever. Okay? I can say the counter to this is just drop the pallet, stun him with the pallet, and then run away. Just run to a pallet, wait for him to get close, drop the pallet, run away. Or just drop the pallet instantly and run. If he breaks the pallet, he's wasting time. And 3 gens will pop by the time you get this 1 survivor down? Does that really seem right to you? And if he just leaves the pallets, well, then there's a resource for other people to use. Oh, I'll just place a dream snare there. Well, that means the person needs to be asleep, number 1. And number 2, what it entails is them running the loop a certain way. Or are you going to double up the dream snares? Are you going to put a dream snare here and a dream snare here? They're just going to run the short loop. They're going to be like, ooh, here, run around this way, even if I touch this, because I hit him here, I tricked him here. I made a mind game here. Oh, he made an error here, I can vault through this window here. Oh, I can just go from this to this jungle gym, right into it. Oh, I'm not even asleep, do I really need to worry about it? So there's a lot of variables that go into that, and it's not so cut and dry as, I just place a snare here and I win. Okay? That's my first thing. My second thing is instantly teleporting generators. That is 110% incorrect. It takes a fat minute for you to, go to a generator, and they also get a signal that you're going there. So let's say you're teleporting to this place. Let's say you're teleporting to a generator. Oh, I see that your thing is going off. I know two of my friends, right, are on generators. I'm just going to run the opposite way of them, right? And what, you now have a generator that you have to kick and a chase that you're going to go after? No. Oh, I got him off the generator, and then you're going to walk away and he's going to walk right back? Or he's going to just run to a different generator to do. His power is strong, I'll give you that. I'm not saying that, oh, this is the worst. And I don't know about with the highest kill rate at red ranks. I honestly don't believe that's true because I haven't really seen people at red ranks use Freddy all too often. And especially not people who are good enough to stream the game. I know when I was in red ranks, I never, ever, ever, ever went against Freddy who used anything. The only Freddy I went against is when he just came out. So, while Pig, who's an M2 killer with traps that doesn't really slow the game down and has no map control, is definitely top tier. Not top tier, bottom of A tier, which is basically the top of B tier, is what it is. Being the worst of the best is being the best of the worst. I mean, like, the best of the worst is the worst of the best. You know what I'm saying? So anyone who's right here can go down a thing and just say, oh, he's just this. Or, oh, he's just the worst B tier. You can say that. So she's not a top tier killer. I mean, unless you want to say that she's she's a very average, standard, middle tier killer, I guess. I could really just put almost all of them on this one if I wanted to, but I wanted to diversify it a little bit and keep it nice and clean and good. Okay? That was just the first thing there. Who M2? Well, she can also... The thing with the M2, and I think that's just a dumb argument if you say, oh, it's just an M2 killer. Freddy's an M1 killer. Freddy is an M1 killer. Okay, he literally cannot damage you in any capacity without using M1. So what you just said there, 31 minutes ago, is not very intelligente. Because he's also an M1 killer. With traps, the reverse sheriff traps that actually do slow the game down, because you spending 5 seconds right now is going to give you, I mean, at the very least, 15 seconds. I mean, I don't even think that that's actually an argument there. It does return on your investment. Because basically you spend 5 seconds putting the bear trap on, and now they have to go around the map trying to, get it off their heads. And yes, that's RNG based, but it is very, very powerful. When it works in your favor, it's very powerful, but it also slows gen progress because they can't just keep doing gens because you got a bear trap on your freaking head that'll snap shut when there are too many gens being done. And you're probably rank 10 or some stuff. My thing on that, yes, I'm rank 10 right now. That's after rank reset, and that's after I haven't streamed Dead by Daylight in a fat minute. So yes, right now, I'm probably rank 10. Pig above Billy, oof. And I said, I have to. He lost a hefty mind game. He's not as fun to play now. He's still strong, but not as convenient in select situations, which is what made him, etch out other people. But honestly, he's literally one thing below Pig. One thing below. And honestly, you could change these two, and it wouldn't matter too much. You want to know why? Because they're one away. It's like the difference between third place and fourth place. I mean, yes, one gets a ribbon. Yeah, one gets to live in the A tier. But, I mean, they could still compete and, one wins, the other wins, you know what I'm saying? They're rivals. I mean, and you can even replace these three if you really wanted to. However you order it, I'll be like, well, I think this, but this makes sense. Your explanation for it, the way you went about this was very nice. I'm going to agree to disagree, but how you said it was good. The only thing is, his changes aren't final, so it's hard to tell. Not really. They kind of just slapped the community in the face on this one and kind of went vigilante. and his things. And this is also the public test build one, so it is about the public test build. So what I said stands. And I low-key think Pig is C tier. I'm going to just say C tier. I just do. I just clicked the button. What'd I do? Okay, I'm back. She thinks, or he, excuse me, or this person, I don't know what gender they are, thinks that she's C because her power is RNG based. And this is, I guess, yeah, I did say that her ability was RNG based, and that's why Trapper is low, because they have to step in your traps in order for you to be good, you know? And the thing with her is, it's, her RNG, even if it pays off or doesn't, it still gives you a return on your investment. And no matter at what point in the game. I mean, 15 seconds, if you give 10 extra seconds, you know, like that's good. I mean, 10 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but 10 seconds is the, you know, winning and losing a game can be decided in 10 seconds. So even in that state, if, you know, one of them doesn't completely pay off, if you will, like even if they get it off in 5 seconds, you break even, you don't lose anything from it. The only killer you actually got right are, the only killers you actually got right are Nurse Spirit and Hag. How the heck is Wraith S tier? I've already explained this. He is legit one of the easiest killers to loop. That's if you're using him wrong. He is not meant to be looped. And I don't know if I actually did explain it, so I'll explain it one more time for those of you in the back who couldn't hear me. The way his builds and stuff are supposed to work is it's supposed to center around stealth. You ring your bell, you either make it silent or you make it above the whole map. So you can't tell if he's coming for you or if he's going for your friend. Right? That's the point. So you can get off the gen, ruin pops, whatever it is. You know, it regresses you back. So you go a ding ding or whatever it may be, and then you smack them in the face. Oh wow, they are injured. So now you use Nurse's Calling and Thanatophobia or another combination of any perks like that play off all each other when people are injured. And now they get 16% regression when everyone's injured, and when they're injured and you hit them again, you know, that's like trying to hide against a ghost face. That doesn't make sense. You know, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like you're either insta down, which basically outwedges every other killer, because if you're just going to be insta down the entire game, well, you're going to fail. Or you're going to try to heal and fall right into his mind game. Or what you can do is manage to get a heal all the way in the corner and not do a gen, which he's patrolling all the time and he's smacking people, and he doesn't really need to commit to chases because that's not the build you have set out for him. So he may be one of the easiest killers to loop, but you also shouldn't loop with Wraith. Wraith is one of the worst killers. You can think that, but I have said my case. Second, how is Pig A tier? I've already went over this. Pig has no chase, and her ability is crap. I've already went through this. You get a return on your investment. It's pretty easy. I don't know what the heck that word even is. How is Pig S tier? Plague is at least B tier. Let's go through it one more time. Her ability basically is if you aren't insta-down, well, then you're going to have a bad time. Because then she gets to puke on you and stuff. And she's very strong in that field, and especially with certain add-ons and stuff, will smoke your team really fast and put a lot of pressure at one time. Same with Oni. He didn't say anything about the Oni, but they basically do the same thing. They rely on some of the same perks. They do the same things correctly because they have a short window where they are very, very powerful. And if survivors are not careful or they do not play something perfectly, right, which no one does, and it's very hard to against these two killers, you're going to fail. And then I said this, and keep in tune. Basically, I was like, hey, keep in tune. I'm going to basically address your comment and speak. Worse than Hag, or Freddy is worse than Hag. I think I've already went over this. And Trapper, he's not. I put Trapper below Freddy. Freddy has one of the best map pressures. If you're talking about map pressures, is teleport. I already went over that. It's very good, but it's certainly not the best. You can put uh, an add-on on Wraith, including his silent or all, everyone hears his bell, that he goes at 150% when he's cloaked, which is stupid fast, and that's a passive. Instead of you having to wait every single time to go to a generator where people see that you're coming and just run the other way. Or, you try to fake it and then they see that you're faking it because it takes you all of 5 seconds that you can still see it, and then they're just going to run back and do the generator real fast. Black Jaded Shadow. I use Freddy a lot. Oh yeah, this is me. Replying to him. I was being an idiot for a second there. I'm sorry. I use Freddy a lot. Anyone who watches my streams will know this. This is very true. Freddy is one of my favorite killers to use because I like using his palettes. I like having fun. I like doing a fun game. I do feel like I sweat a lot when I play him, but that's kind of what I like. I like being able to get into the nitty-gritty and actually try to work my butt off to play a game and win, especially when I'm not using his dream snares. I'm just using his palettes. His dream palettes. Minecraft, Remy is more powerful. Didn't think Spirit would be second. And I believe that's all of the comments that were left. But honestly, the main point of this isn't to just be like, hey, I'm right, you're wrong. It's basically to just understand that you're drunk, dude, is not an appropriate thing to put in a comment on a 14-year-old's video about Dead by Daylight. That's something just not appropriate. And I would delete it if I wasn't making this video. Because things like that, and I'm not going to delete it just because, you have a valid opinion. This is your opinion. I don't agree with it, and not a lot of other people do, because it's not necessarily factual, it's not based in fact, but you can still be entitled to your own opinion. But when you say stuff like cussing in freaking comments and trying to be toxic, oh, you're right, being very condescending, I don't like that behavior, I don't condone it. Yes, I was, criticizing this person's, handling the situation and everything else, but he was being very rude from the get-go, and I just would like everyone to understand that this was my video, my opinion, and just because you have an opinion that differs from mine doesn't mean you have to say you're probably rank 10 or some crap. Or you don't have to say something like, the only killers you actually got right, or something like that. Or, let us see. Oh no, that's just mine thing. But things with he was being very nice about it. He was just simply saying it. Black Jaded Shadow, he said it well. And even him, who was being very rude, I made sure to say at the end here, I do value your opinion. Thanks for leaving a comment. Have a blessed day. And I've been thinking about this a lot. Because I'm like, people who are like, this guy up here especially, who are being real buttheads about it. I'm just trying to simply say, this is my opinion. Take it or leave it. And it's, my PC battery's running low, so I better wrap this video up. A little longer than I anticipated, but, don't go out attacking people. And even when I say I appreciate your feedback, but there are specific reasons for each placement, and then you go and say this stuff, I'm trying to be nice, but it's really hard to when you do this laughing face emoji and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little disheartening that a community of this game would be this toxic in this way. And I don't know, just do your research and come back with a constructive conversation, because I would love to have it with you. Anyway, guys, have a blessed night, and yeah. See you guys.